Hey guys, Mrs. Rainey here. Just wanted to go over a quick presentation, the Dragon Eyes presentation for my Art 2 students. Thought I would try things this way. Screencastify is the special app that we can use as teachers that they're letting us use for free right now. Thank you, Screencastify. To explain our lessons. So first and foremost, I want to make sure everybody knows how to get to the lesson. You can either log in through Canvas. When you log in to Canvas, hopefully you guys can see my screen here. You can click on Art 2. You should have a tile on your screen that looks like Art 2 that you can click on right here. And you want to go to Assignments. On this left-hand side of your page, if you scroll down, it'll say Assignments. Your student view probably looks a little different, so let me go back and do it that way because that might be easier for y'all. So if you're in Canvas and you're looking in Art 2, you click on that tile of all your course tiles, and then I'm going to go right here where it says Student View. So now my screen is going to look the way that your screen looks as a student. So you can see that I made an announcement. I did a video update here about e-learning and art. I did an important update about due dates and no more progress pictures. So we do not need to turn in daily progress pictures anymore. So yay, that's awesome. But when you're over here, scroll down on the left side to Assignments. Okay. When you click on Assignments in Canvas, you're going to see upcoming assignments. Your overdue assignments are going to be first, but your upcoming assignments are going to be next. So you can see here for the week of 3/23, we have Dragon Eye warm up. Then we have week of 3/23, Dragon Eye rough draft. Those two assignments are due this week. And you can see right here, there's a due date. It says due March 29th at 11:59 p.m. So both of these assignments, the Dragon Eye warm-up and the Dragon Eye rough draft, are due on March 29th, that's Sunday, at 11:59 p.m. Then it says here, e-learning weeks of 3/23 and 3/20 of 2020, Dragon Eyes. The Dragon Eye is due April 5th. If you look under that weeks of and the Dragon Eyes, you can see that it's due April 5th. So you have 2 weeks to complete the full assignment, but you have a warm-up and a rough draft that are due by the end of this week. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. And now knowing that, I'm going to hop out of there and go on to our presentation, Dragon Eyes. So I also want to give a special shout out and thank you to Miss Lambert at Pioneer Heritage. This is a lesson that she created a while back, and I used it last year with my Art 2s, and we got some terrific, fantastically detailed and amazing colorful, bright, vibrant dragon eyes. Now, if you don't have colored pencils or you don't have any color at home to add to your dragon eye, that's perfectly fine. Since we're at home, we are just using the supplies that we have access to. So if you ask, hey, do I need color? Do I need colored pencil? Do I have to add that? The answer is no. No, you do not have to add color. If you have color at home, go for it. If you have acrylic paint and you want to paint your dragon eye and you can get all the detail that you need to meet the requirements of the assignment, go for it. Go for it. Okay, so now here, your warm-up is in your art binder or on a piece of white copy paper. I know you guys don't have art binders at home or your sketchbooks at home. It's totally fine. So just on a piece of paper, I want you to draw both types of scales. Notice how the shapes of the scales are different. The one on the left is more rounded and the one on the right is more kind of like hexagonal. So this is your warm-up. So in Canvas, under that first assignment where it says Dragon Eyes warm-up, that's where you're going to submit your picture of your scales of this warm-up. Okay. These are some Dragon Eye examples. Notice how the pupils all have different shapes. Some of the eyes have spikes around them, like the top left. Some of the eyes, the bottom right is painted. So if you have access to watercolor, you want to do ink and watercolor at home, that's perfectly fine. This one in the bottom center has all of this light source in it. You can really tell the light source on that bottom center photo. You can really tell the light source is coming from the right. So that's something else that I want you guys to pay attention to. Is there going to be a gleam in the eye, like on the bottom left or the top right dragon eyes? Where is your light source coming from? Please keep that in mind as you are working on this project. Okay, so the dragon eye drawing. I can create a drawing of a dragon eye by using the following drawing techniques: color value blends, color range and value, shadows and shading of form, consistent use of light source, creation of textures, high contrast, complex detail, cropping, and zoom. Okay. The next thing that we have, the next slide, is from the cutest scene ever from How to Train Your Dragon. So top left, number 1, that is a scene from How to Train Your Dragon, just to kind of get you thinking about dragons and their behavior and the way that they act. And then the second video, top right, is how to draw dragon scales. Notice in this video that these scales are square shaped, so even different than the warm-up. So there's all different types of shapes and things that you can do with the dragon eyes. So be creative, do your thing, do what you think looks awesome or what you think looks the best. And then also with the pupils, choose an interesting shape for the pupil. Notice how in all of the dragon eyes in that first slide, and then I'll show you some more in a little bit, they all have a different shaped pupil, and that's really what kind of makes the artwork unique. Then there are these videos, how to draw dragon eyes, how to draw a realistic looking dragon eye, etc. So I'm not going to play all the videos. You guys can go through, find the lesson in Canvas, and you can play the video through all of these if you want to watch every video link. The next thing is these are different types of dragons. So I don't even know how to pronounce this, so sorry, Sheehan dragon. So this could be a species that is evolved with wings. So some dragons have wings. Actually, don't they all have wings?
Nope.
No? Okay.
No.
My son is saying no.
There's even water dragons.
Whoa. Okay.
That swim.
So anyways, these kind of dragons you see in Skyrim, Game of Thrones, Hobbit, Harry Potter, etc. And then the therapsid dragon, this one looks more kind of dinosaur-like. This one has a different story. It's closely related to mammals, so it can move like them and be quite intelligent. Oops. These kind of dragons are seen in Dragonheart, Aragon, Dungeons and Dragons. And four-legged dragons are more rare in fantasy. They're often portrayed as a less animalistic than a wyvern and more regal and noble. So there's all different kinds of dragons. I know I have some dragon experts out there. If you are a dragon expert, I would love to see what kind of dragon eye you're going to make based on your knowledge that you already have. Okay, so first thing you need to do is create a quick sketch or a rough draft. So please don't spend more than 5 or 10 minutes on this. Just like in class, we don't want to do our whole project in draft form or as a sketch. Don't spend too much time on your rough draft, but we definitely want to make a plan. So there's a fine line between spending too much time and just making a plan, right? So if you look here on the top left, you want to create the eye. Think about the rule of thirds as you're doing this, and cropping, how you're going to crop it on the page. We're zooming in really close to the dragon's eye. Then roughly sketch in basic guidelines for the eye on your final paper. So use 8x10 paper, copy paper, 9x12 sketchbook. If you have sketchbook at home, that's fine. Graphite works the best for sketching and doing your initial rough draft. Next, think about how you will frame the eye. What shape will the pupil be? What shape will your scales be? Focus on color, texture, and pattern. How will you crop your eye on the page? Remember the rule of thirds. And then on your bottom right here, there's just a picture of like varied scaling. So we talk a lot about variety in art, right? So that's a variation of scales. They're not all exactly the same, and they're not perfectly placed. And so that's interesting and unique as we're looking at it. So think about that. Okay, examples of student works in progress. So any of these words that are underlined, these are our vocabulary words, okay? Notice the variety of shape and size among pupils and scales. The repetition of scales create a pattern to show rhythm and movement and implied texture throughout the piece. Think about cropping and zooming along with the rule of thirds to create a pleasing composition overall. Okay, so we want the dragon to look scaly. We want it to look like if we reached out and touched it, we could feel those scales under our fingers. So that's called implied texture. So I want you guys to be thinking about texture and thinking about details and pattern as you guys are doing these. You can see all of these dragon eyes in progress. They're all unique and different. They've all got a different shaped pupil, which is neat. A lot of them have different types of scales. In the project specifications, I want you guys to use 3 different types of patterns or scaling. Notice in the center picture, you can see this student has her draft up here in the center of that, or in the top of that center picture. So you see her draft is small, right? And then she's working larger. So don't spend too much time on your draft, but definitely make a good plan. Okay, details. Look at the amazing details and patterning in this student's dragon eye. Just amazing, all these little details. Keep that in mind as you're working through this project. Okay, these are actual dragon eyes that my students completed last year in the BMS art room. Aren't they beautiful? I think they're amazing. So look at how look at this one in the center, how it fills the whole page. The top corner of it, you can tell is like the dark background, and it offsets all those spikes, those pinkish purple spikes that are up on the top there. Beautiful colors that contrast and pop. The scaling's amazing. The one on the top left, all those shades of blue, just absolutely beautiful. You can definitely see movement through the patterns on the right side of that top left eye, the way that the shapes kind of curve and point downward on the bottom and then curve and go upward on the top. Then all of these are terrific examples of the dragon's eye. So I want you guys to think about cropping, zooming, patterns, details, filling the whole page, and then using variety also. And again, all of these are done in full color. These were done at school where the kids had charcoal and colored pencil and watercolor. If you don't have those supplies at home, please, please, please do not worry about it. You can do an amazing dragon eye just with pencil, okay? All right, project specifications. You must include a minimum of 3 different patterns in your scales. If you go back here and look, all of these kiddos have different patterning. That center one has amazing patterning. Top left, lots of different patterning in their scales. Number 2, you must follow the rule of thirds and fill the whole page. Number 3, an obvious light source or gradient must be noticeable in your project. You can show this through color value. Please note, since we are working from home, I will allow value to be shown with pencil only for those who do not have access to colored pencils or other color-based media. So what that says and what that means is if you have color, please add color, show the color. If you don't have access to colored pencils or color, it is totally okay. Just use graphite and do your best with what you have. Number 4, choose an interesting shape of pupil and show a reflection in the eye. This helps the viewer know where the light source is coming from. And again, there's going to be 3 grades total for this project. Just like if we were in class, we would have like a weekly cleanup grade or weekly warm-up grade. This week, we have a warm-up grade. It's a minor grade due Sunday, 3/29. That's this Sunday. Then you have your rough draft grade. That is due Sunday as well. We always complete a plan or make a plan or do a draft in the art room. So your rough draft is a minor grade due on, it's not due on 3/39, it's due on 3/29. Hopefully you all know what I mean there. I'll go back and change that. And then the final dragon eye, your major grade is the final whole completed eye. That is due on Sunday, April 5th. So all of these need to be uploaded as photos in Canvas. I know some of you have emailed me over the past week, and as we were just getting started, that was fine if you had an issue, but we all need our work uploaded in Canvas from now on. It's super important. That's how we're tracking the work. That's how I'm grading the work. Canvas is linked to eSchool. So I need your projects uploaded in Canvas. Always, always, always. Okay, and then this is how teachers plan. This is my fancy lesson plan for the week. So you can see here, this is our learning target, our materials, our vocabulary, essential or quality questions. How can I create texture by using my knowledge of drawing techniques? Which colors will blend the best to create value in the scales? How will I arrange composition to create visual interest? So we want to think about composition here too when we're using the rule of thirds. Then our instructional activities. So first day one, you're going to watch the PowerPoint or the presentation. Hopefully you guys saw that yesterday. And if you didn't, you can watch this one today. Then instructional activities for days 2, 3, and 4, and even 5. Continue working on the final draft. So you should do your rough draft and then continue working on your final draft. I want you guys to work, 10 or 15 minutes a day on this. You don't have to work all day, every day, 15 minutes max. And by the end of 2 weeks, you should have a really nice project completed. But again, your rough draft, you probably want to be done with your rough draft by today or tomorrow so you can start on your final project. If anybody has any questions after watching this, please email me, let me know. I'm going to upload this in Canvas. And then that does it for our Dragon Eyes. And I hope you guys, I can't wait to see what you guys turn in. I hope this makes sense to everybody. Everybody understands it. And you guys are doing great. The pictures of all of your work from last week were amazing. So good job. Keep up the good work, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank you.